In today's video, I'll show you how you can create delivery note in QuickBooks Online. So let's get started. So here we are in QuickBooks, and to do this, we need to click here on the new button right here in the top left. And you can now click here on invoice or estimate depending on which one you are trying to send to your customer. Let's say you're trying to send an invoice. Now in here is that you want to choose your customer and then customer email and fill out the information in here. And then after that, this is where you can deliver your note right here or delivery note for this invoice. And then you could also go for message right here on statement. So that's one way on how you could do this. Another way is that if you would want it to be a template, like it's there whenever you are creating an invoice, you can click here on customize. And then now you'd be able to see all my templates in here, which is the 11 and standard. And now you can click here on new style to create a new template. And this is where you can do it. So this is the current design right here, and make sure to rename this template so that you would be able to distinguish which is which. So let's say that I'm gonna go for the sample right there. And then you could go for a template right here, or could try other colors. You could even design your invoice in here. But what we want is to go here into content and click here on this part of the invoice. And this is where you'd be able to go for the message to the customer. So this is where you could edit that, and this would be the default option, or that would be the one that will be sent to the invoice once you put it right here. So this would be the default one, and then you could go for the points. You can make it bigger and so on. Add footer text like thank you, maybe something like that. And as you can see, it's now right there. And now you could also click here on done. And now once you clicked on that, you can now go back in here, go into invoice again. And then you'd now be able to see, as you can see, we now have it here by default. And then we can click here on customize, and then we can go for our sample template right here. And then you would now be able to see that it will now be applied in here into your invoice based on what you have changed in the style right here. And now you might be wondering that it's not taking effect because we don't have the footer in here that we just saved earlier. That is because it will be, you will be able to see that later on. So I have inputted some of the details in here so that I'd be able to proceed into save and send. And when I go in here, you would now be able to see the preview right here on how it's going to look like. And then you can see the body and subject. You could also edit that right here. And then when we go here at the bottom, we would now be able to see that the template has now taken effect, and we now have our footer in here. And you can also design this in the customize tab if you'd want to. So yeah, this is basically it on how you can do it. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.